Hello, welcome to Keim's Corner. My name is Jeff Keim. I'm the president and CEO of Oskeim Sports Consulting, and this is Wager Talk TV. In this video, I'm going to give you a free best bet in tonight's NBA game between the Toronto Raptors and the Memphis Grizzlies. That game goes off at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday, April 3rd. Now, by way of background, it's hard to believe that the NBA regular season's almost over. There's only 6 regular season games left in the season, and only one of the teams has playoff implications involved tonight, and that would be the Toronto Raptors. Of course, Toronto currently is tied for 6th place with the Philadelphia 76ers. But if the season ended today, the 76ers would finish 6th because they hold a tiebreaker over Toronto. Now, Toronto, obviously, like many teams, want to avoid finishing 7th to 10th because that would require going to a play-in tournament to earn a playoff spot, and that would be a disappointing finish for the Raptors based on the season they've had, which they've been playing pretty well throughout the regular season. They've had a hard time recently, by everything I've read in the locker room and quotes from the players and coaches alike. It seems like the team is on solid footing, and they're looking forward to a strong finish to the regular season. So with that in mind, why don't we take a look at this game? Memphis is tanking, right? So the Grizzlies, they've lost 7 of the past 8 games and 15 of their last 17. And most of their key players are either sidelined by injuries or recovering from medical procedures. I mean, the Grizzlies are a disaster. Their roster currently is filled largely with rookies, two-way players, and 10-day contract players. I mean, some of the names you probably wouldn't even recognize in the Memphis Grizzlies. But I will say this, the Grizzlies are still playing hard. If you look at their last loss against the New York Knicks, they were down, I think, 22 points in the second quarter, and they fought back and they cut the deficit, I believe, to 3 points before ultimately losing to the Knicks 130 to 119. But Memphis, yes, they're tanking, but they are playing hard. They showed some heart against the Knicks. They could have mailed it in early in the second quarter in that last game, but they kept playing and they played well. So before I go on to give you my best bet, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe if you'd like more analysis like this. I'll be giving regular NBA games and best bets on a regular basis. And let me know your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you like the Grizzlies, the Raptors, and what other games you like tonight, and any other future games and the videos. I would really appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you. So let's look at this game specifically, the Raptors and the Grizzlies. Here's why I like Toronto laying 13.5 points. The Raptors apply to a bounce back situation of mine that is one of my best systems in my NBA database. So the Raptors arrive in Memphis off back-to-back losses. Okay, but that's actually a good situation for us tonight as Toronto Raptors investors, because NBA road favorites off a loss are 55% against spread since 2005. Dating back to 2005. Favorites on the road against the spread are winning proposition 1732 to 114.39 against the number. That is a profitable 55% winning angle. Number 2, since 2003, NBA road favorites coming off a home loss, that would be Toronto, are 618, 469, and 20 against the spread. That is 57% against the number. Again, very profitable. Third, since 2003, NBA teams coming off an upset loss as favorites of 12 points or more, again, that would be Toronto, are 135, 71, and 6 against the Vegas number. That's 66% from game 23 forward in the regular season. Again, that's 135, 71, and 6 against the spread, betting on teams coming off an upset loss as favorites of 12 points or more. And Toronto falls squarely within that system. Technical trend number 2 that supports our Toronto investment is the fact that Memphis is tanking, as we mentioned. Toronto still has something to play for the playoffs and seeding potential, and that's important because they fall into one of my best playoff versus tanking systems towards the end of the regular season. That is 559 or worse road favorites from game 71 out are 280, 169, and 12 against the spread. That's 62.4% versus opponents that have been eliminated from the playoffs. That would be Memphis, of course. Now that system improves to 97, 52, and 2 against the spread. That's 65.1% since the beginning of the 2016-17 regular season. So what we want to do here is play on the team that has playoff potential and are still playing hard at the end of the regular season versus teams that are tanking, have been eliminated, like Memphis. That is a profitable angle. Now, the final angle I want to look at is Toronto as a team. And if you look at this is really a very strong team angle, which I don't put a lot of weight into, but this is pretty significant. The Raptors are 12-1 straight up and against the spread as favorites of 12 or more points if they have 2 or more days rest. And they are playing with at least 2 or more days of rest in this situation. That's 12-1 straight up and against the spread, the Toronto Raptors over the past several years in that scenario. So don't be concerned about laying the number with the Raptors. I like Toronto minus the points. That is my best bet. I encourage you to take Toronto minus 13.5. I believe that's what the market has at right now. 13.5 over the Memphis Grizzlies for Friday, April 3rd at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Jeff Keim, Oscom Sports. This is Wager Talk TV. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love for you to join. It helps us out. And give the video a thumbs up if you like this analysis. I'll be back on a regular basis giving more free best bet winners. And again, I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you. So good luck, and I'll see you next time on Keim's Corner.